Hello everyone, my name is Ozzy, and today I'm going to show you the automatic satchel crafter, so that every time you come back to base, you've got plenty of boom for your next raid. So to start off, we're going to need a workbench, some industrial crafters, power supply, an electrical branch, boxes, storage adapters, industrial conveyor and splitter, and the blueprints for a small stash, bean can grenade, and satchel charge. You're also going to want plenty of rope, cloth, frags, and gunpowder to craft these items up. Now you can use any workbench, but I like just using my workbench tier 1 because after I've crafted a tier 2, I like being able to use those crafters for rifle ammo or syringes or something like that. We're going to place an industrial crafter on the bench and on top, and then I'm using this battery for a power supply just for this video. Normally you'll just run it into whatever power you have. You can also include a switch if you want to be able to save power and turn the system off if you ever don't have enough materials, though it is optional. Next, we're going to place down another box. If you're using a small box, I like flipping it around because it makes the pipe connections a little bit cleaner. We're going to place a couple of storage adapters on each box, one conveyor here on the bottom, one on the top. And then these aren't actually necessary here over on the right side because you will have enough space in here for 40 satchels. If that's enough for you, you can also directly run the end of this crafter into an auto sort system or into any other boxes, anything else like that. But for this video, I'm running it into this box over here on the right. So you're just going to follow the outputs and inputs, connecting the top crafter to the box. We're also going to add a splitter over here on the left side so that this bottom box can feed into both the bottom and the top crafters. And then we're going to plug each crafter into its respective, or each conveyor into its respective crafter. The last connection we're going to make is this crafter is going to come over here to this box. You can just go straight across, this is more just for show. And that will complete this loop here so that this conveyor can pull directly from this crafter. Next, we're going to place our blueprints into our crafters. We want the small stash and the bean can grenade and the bottom one. We want the small stash to be first because whichever one is first is going to end up with a full stack as a buffer to force the crafter to move on to the second item. You also want a couple of useless items here just to fill these spots. Up in the top, we just need to drop in our satchel blueprint, and that's it. And then for our filters on this bottom left one, we're going to need cloth for the stashes, some gunpowder, and some frags for the bean can grenades. Now for the maxes for these, we just need enough to craft one of each item. And then for the minimums, we're going to put one down here at the bottom, and what this does is it makes sure that our feeding box will always have enough room for one of each stack, so that anything we're feeding into this box, we always have what we need to be able to craft. Our top filters, we're going to need bean can grenades. That's not what those are. Stashes, and rope. For our max, we need 4, 1, and 1, and then for our minimums, we want 1, 4, and 1. And the reason for these, for the rope, is so that we can have that one stack available at all times in the input box. For the bean can grenade and the small stash, it's because I don't want to lose these buffers that we've placed here. If this were to go away, then this box would just fill up with stashes. And if we don't leave the 4 in here to pull just the 1, it's going to create more stashes than we need. So we want to be able to leave these with 4 and 1 being the default, and it'll craft a stash and pull it as necessary, and it'll pull all but one bean can grenade at all times. And then we don't actually need to put any filter over here on the right side. Last thing we need to do is hook this up to power. So there are many ways to do this. I'm just going to run the power in through the pass-throughs on the conveyors, and then this last one into the power in on the crafter up top. Set this to 4, and then this last power out down here. Each conveyor needs 1 power, and then the crafter up top and down bottom need 1 power also. Next, we're going to turn everything on. You will need to manually turn on all of the conveyors and crafters the first time you run the system. After that, if you switch it off and then back on again, you'll only need to power on the crafters. Now what the system is going to do is it's going to pull resources from here through this conveyor, and it's going to give us the exact number we need to either craft one stash or one bean can at a time. Right now it's crafting another stash because the conveyor up here already put one in, as well as some rope. And then now that that one stash is up top, this is full, it's going to start crafting bean can grenades. As these fill up, they will eventually move up here to the top side. And then once we get 4 bean can grenades, it will craft a satchel. And then that satchel will end up in this box down here. Or if you don't have this connected, it'll just stay up here until you have 40 in here. Now this system will run on its own with any kind of stoppages. If you're missing resources or anything like that, as soon as you have the resources necessary, it will continue. If you are completely full on satchels and the system backs itself up, what you'll find is that this box will be full of satchels, so will the crafter. This box will end up with 5 satchels, 5 bean cans, and then the amount of input necessary for one of each, and then it will stop. And then this will just fill up with resources, but you'll have at least 1 stack of each type. And then once this is full, the entire system is at a complete standstill until you remove some of the satchels. But that is the automatic satchel crafter. I hope this video helped you out. If it did, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like these, and I will see you all next time.